Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Thursday, May 10th, 2018. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. If you recall here, the ES has been trading around this 27.0375 pivot for a while now. Ever since we had the major sell-off, the pivot low here, once we got that pivot low and it started to look strong, we pointed to 27.0375 as the midpoint that needs to be tested in order to confirm and cement this key range, and it got it. And every time price has gotten too far away from that level, it's come right back to it. Every single time it gets too far away, it comes back to it. And so it's been a big time equilibrium point within this overall range. In the short term right now, we have pushed higher over the last week into that level, which is now an LVN as well. And so in this zone here, if there's any rejection, we could come right back down to recent lows and continue to trade within this range. If the market is ready to see a transition from this market structure into the upper market structure, then perhaps we could be looking at a move from 27.0375 into 2800 finally, and we could see some development in that zone like we did before. So are we done with this market structure here? If so, then 27.0375 will be a gateway to 2800 at the very least. Otherwise, a rejection in this zone. It could even get up here into the recent highs, the previous month's high, which is that white line right there. And if we reject in here off the FOMC key level, perhaps we can come right back. So right now we're kind of at the zone where we could start to see some sort of directional conviction, either back toward 26 or up toward 28. So that's what to look for right now. Short term, everything's flowing to the upside until we see rejection. So got to be poised higher until we see rejection. All right, let's take a look now at the NQ. The NQ looks similar, only a little bit more bullish. This one here has rallied very nicely here recently and pushed through recent highs, and has also reached the FOMC key level from March 21st, also on a path to reach the January 31st key level at 69.65 quarter. So very bullish overall. You can see how this thing has continued higher. Failed new low here, has launched it over the last week. And again, we're coming into a zone up here that we have begun to see rejection over the last few rotations. So if we push into 7K, we could begin to see a little bit of selling pressure above 7K that could then bring us right back down within the range. Remember, we're in the range right now. And unless we're ready to see expansion, we're probably going to stay within that range, at least for a little while. So again, anytime we get up here into this zone, you can see the profile gets very thin there. You can see the reactions here, here, and here. And so right now we're pushing toward that zone. There could be a little bit more short-term upside, and then from there we got to see how the market responds above 7K. Any weakness could be a quick return back to 66.53, which is this key level here. All right, taking a look now at crude oil. This one has been non-stop bullish, very, very strong. Has come out of this ascending pattern quite nicely, which is what we talked about before. So if you go back to this period of time here, we were talking about how compressed it was and how if we see expansion, it could spark a move into 70.41 and 74.52, which is the next level above. So 74.52 is the next major target based off of this key range here. That's the next measured move target. Additionally, we have a near-term target that's coming into play now, which is the 72s. We talked about on this recent push here that if we bounce off this zone, we could see a quick move into 72s because that's the LVN. That's the zone right there. We have reached into that area today, getting as high as 71.89. And if there's any rejection here, that could spark a little bit of a counter trend move that could lead to the next bounce opportunity. But overall, I would not be looking to sell crude in this zone. If it pulls back, it'd be a much better buying opportunity. Right now, everything is still poised to the upside. Even after a major sell-off here intraday that day, it still led to new highs right away. So right now, every pullback is a buying opportunity. I would not be looking to sell crude at this time. Taking a look here at gold. You'll also see that gold has been developing at these lows for quite some time. This has been an unusual pattern down here for this support level, as these levels have led to quicker bounces in the past. This one took a few days, but a big bounce. Each bounce led back to the 60s, the 1360s, 1365 zone, and the midpoint 1337, very important as well. And so we've been building out right here for some time, going a little bit lower each and every time, and this 1320 is the gateway right there. Pushing above that zone will lead to a quick move back to the 1330s. We might see a little chop and chop and then see a continuation into 1360. So we're still inside this range until proven otherwise. Again, if price were to push above 1320 and then fail and close back below, that might be an indication that we're about to run some stops. So 1320 is a big time level right now to watch. If we start to push through that zone, I could see a stop run day where price takes us into the 1325s or beyond. So watching to see if we're ready to see expansion from this range right now. Clearly there's a lot of energy built up. Which way is that energy going to be released? Based off of current recent behavior, the energy is likely to be released to the upside. But again, any rejection of 1320 could change that fate. Alright, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin here has been quite bullish over the last month or so, 4 to 5 weeks. You can see ever since we got down here, we were looking for a flush event. We never got that flush. Instead, what we got was a failed new low and a massive expansion out of this narrow 5-day range. From there, price built up more energy and continued higher. So after we saw this big move here, we were looking for any pullback into 7,500 to be a buy opportunity into the 9,000s. We got that. And then from there, we've now built out this 2 to 3 week range, very tight compression, and we continue to hold above 8,500, and that suggests that again energy could be released to the upside, very similar to gold. It's been building up energy, but this one's been building more energy. This is 3 weeks worth of compressed trading activity here that could lead to a big push up. Again, we want to see price continue to hold above 8,500 here in this case, and overall holding that market structure suggests a push higher into 10K, and then over time get up toward 11.3. So again, this one's building some big time energy here. If it can start to make a move through 10K, it could be a quick swift move into 11.3. But once we get up into that zone and as high as 12K, it could be a fade right back to value, which is 9,200. Alright, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.